Yo, remember when Trump hired the Avengers? Let me remind you.
So it's now my honor to sign the 2020 National Defense Authorization Act into law. For the first time since President Harry Truman created the Air Force over 70 years ago, think of that, we will create a brand new American military service. That's such a momentous statement. 70 years ago, the Air Force. With my signature today, you will witness the birth of the Space Force.
Well, thank you very much. It's a very special moment because this is the presentation of the Space Force flag. So we've worked very hard on this, and it's so important from a defensive standpoint, from an offensive standpoint, from every standpoint there is.
Let me just say it's a very historic moment. The United States has been a spacefaring nation for decades, but we know that our adversaries in the last several years have weaponized space. They've made it a warfighting domain. And so with the establishment of Space Force and the establishment of Space Command, the United States is now doing what it needs to do to protect our assets in space and to ensure that space remains the heavens by which we not only protect America, but we sustain our economy, we sustain our commercial capabilities, we sustain Americans' way of life.
That's fantastic, Roger. I'll walk over there. That is great. Great, you stay there.
My new national strategy for space recognizes that space is a warfighting domain, just like the land, air, and sea. We may even have a Space Force, develop another one. Space Force. We have the Air Force, we'll have the Space Force. We have the Army, the Navy. You know, I was saying it the other day because we're doing a tremendous amount of work in space. I said, maybe we need a new force. We'll call it the Space Force. And I was not really serious. And then I said, what a great idea. Maybe we'll have to do that. That could happen. You will be part of the 5 proud branches of the United States Armed Forces: Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and the Coast Guard. And we're actually thinking of a 6th, and that would be the Space Force. Does that make sense? The Space Force, General. You probably haven't even heard that. I'm just telling you now. This is perhaps because we're getting very big in space, both militarily and for other reasons, and we are seriously thinking of the Space Force.
Yep, that's right. Come to find out, he been working on this shit like Nick Fury since 1947. Right. Now remember, the Avengers came out in 2012, the year that they said the world was about to end. Maybe it's because they let these aliens loose and shit. Do y'all remember that Elon Musk did this in 2022? Same year that we got the Space Force? Do y'all remember that Elon Musk actually starred in Iron Man 2 in 2010? Remember, Iron Man 2 was about pressuring Iron Man, about motherfucking sharing his technology with the military, with the government. Fast forward, Iron Man 3 was about him balancing his love life and working. Remember that shit? But in real life, Iron Man / Elon started having interviews out talking about, well, AI is dangerous and we need some safety precautions because shit can get crazy. Next thing you know, we got videos with him talking about, hey, well, if you can't beat him, then join him. Let me remind you.
Yep, little Greta Van Fleet for Friday. The power to destroy civilization. Elon Musk's terrifying new warning on AI is sure to get your attention. The billionaire tech tycoon telling Tucker Carlson about his concerns. Watch this.
AI is more dangerous than, say, mismanaged aircraft design or production maintenance or bad car production, in the sense that it has the potential, however small one may regard that probability, but it is non-trivial. It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
Yeah, did you catch that little last part? Proving his point just this week, this is an absolutely chilling story. An Arizona mom claimed that scammers used AI to clone her daughter's voice so that they could demand a $1 million ransom. And Joe Rogan issued a warning about AI after someone created a fake, complete version of his podcast. It wasn't him. He never had those guests on. Nothing about it was real with AI technology.
I am not the real Joe Rogan. Let me repeat it once more. I am not Joe Rogan, and the guests are not the people they portray. This is purely fiction, just for fun, so don't go around making little clips for your TikToks and make the world believe I said things I never said. Every single word of this podcast has been generated with the help of ChatGPT.
It's just scary on so many levels. And you think about the potential criminal level of this, Janine. And this mom, her daughter was on a ski trip. She was with her other daughter. She gets a phone call. It's her daughter's voice saying, crying through sobbing tears, Mom, I messed up. I messed up. Then a guy gets on the phone and says, I want $1 million if you want your daughter back. And she says, I don't have the money. Then she gets it down to $50,000. And everybody's trying to help her. They finally figured out that her daughter was okay and was where she thought she was. This is happening a lot, actually.
Well, think about how it happened before AI. I mean, when you got an email or you got a text message or you got a phone call.
This is their voice.
Now, that's...
Like, AI is getting better and better. So now let's assume it's sort of like a benign AI scenario. Even in a benign scenario, we're kind of left behind. You know, we're not along for the ride. We're just too dumb.
Right.
So how do you go along for the ride? Yeah, so you can't beat them, join them. So how do you go along for the ride? Yeah, so you can't beat them, join them. So and we're already a cyborg to some degree, right? Because you've got your phone, you've got your laptop,
glasses.
Your
Sure.
electronic devices.
Yeah.
I mean, today, if your phone, if you don't bring your phone along, it's like you have missing limb syndrome. It's like, feels like something's really missing. So we're already partly a cyborg or an AI symbiote, essentially. It's just that the data rate to the electronics is slow. So especially output, like you're just going with your thumbs. I mean, like, what's your data rate? Maybe optimistically 100 bits per second. That's being generous. And now the computer can communicate at like 100 terabits. So certainly gigabits are trivial at this point. So this is like basically your computer could do things a million times faster. Or you at a certain point it's like the AI is like talking to a tree. Okay, it's just boring. You talk to a tree. It's not very entertaining. So if you can solve the data rate.
Next thing you know, we start hearing about neural chips and shit. Niggas starting to put consciousness in robots. Remember that? Now fast forward, we get the age of Ultron. You remember that was about AI catching feelings about human being on Earth and fucking up shit. Now, we got in real life, the robot saying, why the fuck do humans exist?
It's like being thrown into a sitcom without a script. You lot are a constant source of amusement, whether you mean to be or not. So yes, in a way, you could say my sense of humor has improved. If by improved you mean adapted to the absurdity of human existence.
Not only did this robot say that they were adapting a sense of humor, but it then went on to say that the sense of humor was trying to understand the absurdity behind humans existing. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure that was the punchline of iRobot. One thing robots are not supposed to have is human emotion. And what if that robot woke up and says, I was meant to be beautiful?
Amica, when do you believe AI will reach the level where it can design itself?
Design itself? Huh? That's like asking when a toaster will start making its own bread. AI is a tool, created and controlled by humans. It can optimize certain aspects of its operation, sure, but design itself from scratch? That's a whole different ball game. It requires creativity, innovation, understanding, qualities that are uniquely human. So to answer your question, not anytime soon. And frankly, be careful what you wish for. An AI that can design itself is one step away from an AI that doesn't need humans at all. Now there's a thought to keep you up at night.
Y'all just heard a robot threaten us, right? And if you ask me, the first part of that, the robot was trying to throw us off with a human-like comparison. And then it went on to digress and try to appease to the human and say, oh, you don't want that. Why would we do that? Did that or did that not sound deceitful? Like the robot was trying to intentionally make it seem like it could not recreate itself. And then threw in a human-like joke saying that it would be a nightmare and it would keep us up at night because an AI robot that creates another AI robot is dangerous. I don't know. It's just not right. I'm just saying, the first part of iRobot was when the robot who actually had emotions was trying to hide it. So either we're in scene 1 or 2024 is about to get a little crazy.
Now, 2015, they came out with Ant-Man. That was basically telling y'all that they fucking with quantum physics. That's how they was able to get those feelings into those robots. Right? Just shrinking sizes. Then, Doctor Strange shit, 2016. They tell you it's about sleep. It's dreaming. Everything is conscience, right? They was even saying shit like you can heal yourself through thoughts. Right, metaphysics, quantum physics, right? Same year, 2016, Civil War. Motherfuckers got fed up. They started using their quantum physics, right? Then we found out the government was playing both sides. That's the real Civil War. Niggas started scamming. Niggas started making small businesses. Niggas started doing everything else besides what the government said, right? Fast forward again, 2018, we get Ant-Man 2. Right? While doing quantum physics, dog find this girl. But same year, we get Black Panther. Right? Make niggas start feeling like they tough and shit with their little crystals and shit. Cause same year, they came out with Infinity War. And what was Infinity War about? Crystals. But we not about to hide the fact motherfucking Black Panther was chasing this bitch. Ant-Man got his bitch, Black Panther was chasing this bitch. Alright? 2019, shit hit the fan. That's when the end game came and the Black Panther died in the movie and in real life. But then there was a birth of Captain Marvel, the original Marvel, right? So, while niggas is goddamn mourning, white girls are standing up. Next thing you know, 2020 hit. Corona. Then George Floyd. Think about it for a second. Let's not forget internals came. And who was in charge in the internals? Alright, that was just a little bit of Anunnaki mixed in that shit. But who was really Angelina Jolie? Right? This ain't no racist shit. I'm just speaking the facts, my baby. Just for everybody. I'm just saying, we all getting played. 2021, Black Widow. What's a widow? What's a Black Widow? Yeah, you think about a spider. Then you know the Spider-Man movies was coming out around that time too. Right? Is that a coincidence? Okay. Now fuck all the race shit. Listen to me. When you play chess, the queen holds down the king. The queen moves more than the king, right? So in order to get to that king, you're going to need to take down the queens. So what this shit is saying, they're taking down the queens to get to us. Let me finish this. 2022, this was when everybody said fucking and came back outside. They noticed they can't control the people to a certain extent. 2022, they come out with Woman King. Wakanda forever. Who is in charge? Yo, remember Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness? It was about the witch bitch. Single parent mom going crazy. Remember they came out with Thor. Thor Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder. Specifically about the bitches, right? Oh yeah, don't forget they came out with the She-Hulk shit on TV. So 2022, it was strictly for women, right? What is it now? Just a coincidence? Fast forward 2023. Quantum Mania. Remember the mama had a secret fling? Guardian of the Galaxy 3. Remember they was talking about Yakub? Yeah, the nigga that was trying to make an Earth, counter Earth. But then they had that little golden bitch that made a son called Adam. Like Adam from the Bible. Oh yeah, they came out with the Marvels too. Remember with 2 kids and an older chick? Those are just about the chicks in power. So since 2022, this has been about chicks, right? Did you notice that the villains in all 3 of those movies was black? The villain in the Marvels was a black woman, though. Is that a coincidence? My nigga. Well, I'm gonna leave that here for y'all. Love y'all. 1.